I knew, never spoke this way, and in fact, purposely refrained from speaking that way. And I don't know what he's talking about. He believed what White said about it. I don't know what White said, maybe redneck Southerners. But I don't know who he's talking about, honestly. And I don't think he knows. So he says here, he believed what white people said about him. What white people is he talking about here? You know, we're living in the North here. So honestly, there may be some whites who are like that. Some ethnic whites of different backgrounds. Maybe there are people from Central European background or other backgrounds who are like that. But I never met any in my whole life when I grew up in the East Coast. And I had never met any who spoke any negative things of this country. So, maybe you have, but I never saw any. And if they thought these things, they certainly didn't voice them very often, that's for sure. And not even as much as the other way around. So again, I'm not making excuses, I'm just trying to say that sometimes, you know, you can cause, the problems are there, no doubt, but you can exacerbate them and make them 10 times worse in your imagination. If you think that, and I don't think that James Baldwin's father was the way he was because he believed what White said about him. Because I don't think he probably met that many whites that were saying anything about him. So again, this is not a healthy way, to my mind, to face life. And it doesn't help, in fact, if you're from, suppose you came, forget the Afro-American, suppose you came from Taiwan, let's say. You come to America here, you hardly speak very good English, your parents don't speak, or Vietnam or someplace. And then you tell everyone something like 20 years on or something, well, you are the way you are because you believe what whites or Americans or Anglos are saying about you. I think people from an Asian background, from places like Taiwan or Vietnam, don't even think about such things. They don't care what anyone's saying about them. If they are saying anything about them, I don't think people are saying them very much, frankly. But, you know, they just get on with things. And they, you know, try to make their situation better. They help their communities as much as they can. They get up and go forward. They study for their exams. They try to get to colleges and so on. So it's very often your own personal self-image that holds you back in this country. Not always, there are other problems, I grant you, but that doesn't help is what I'm trying to say. If you have a negative self-image of yourself and think all your problems are because of what someone else is doing, then in fact you're going to have to defeat yourself, and actually you're serving their purposes. If they want to defeat you, and then you absorb this image, and then you help defeat yourself, you're just doing what they want you to do. So in my mind, that is an extremely unhelpful assessment of the situation. But that's me. You don't have to, you know, because it pains me to see someone recommending these things, even though I think Baldwin is a very smart guy and a very liberated fellow. And in the end, his program is good. But I just want to say that this picture of his father was the way he was because he believed what White said about him. You'll have to evaluate that. I don't think that's the right thing to tell your nephew. My father was violent because he was frustrated in life, I think I would say. My wife's father was violent, and he's an Anglo person, Scottish Anglo person. He used to beat his kids and stuff like that. So, I mean, is he violent because he believes what English people are? You know, he's violent because he's weak and he's frustrated. And he doesn't have the mental and spiritual stamina to face the problems of his life. Forgive me. You can respond. So again, Paul was not here to defend it. This is one of the reasons he became so holy. Again, his whole view of this thing is focused on this issue of what whites are thinking. I'm sure your father has told you something of all this. Neither you nor your father exhibit any tendency towards holiness. You're not trying to be ministers. You're what happened when the Negro left the land and came into what the late Franklin Fraser called the cities of destruction. You can be destroyed by believing you really are what the white world calls a nigger. Now look here, again. I don't know who